Hi there. I wanted to share something with you that I've been doing a lot of thinking about and praying about and reading about. Um, would you consider that many of our diseases, sicknesses, mental issues, physical issues are actually rooted in spiritual um, roots? Rooted in spiritual roots. Um, so I came across this man on YouTube called Henry Wright, Henry W. Wright, and there's a lot of videos by him, and the title is Be in Health, and he does a lot of seminars and stuff like that, and they have retreats and everything where people go and get right with God basically and deal with different spiritual issues and sins in their lives and things like that, and they actually get healed much of the time of physical sicknesses and diseases and stuff by dealing with those spiritual roots. So I ordered this book a couple of weeks ago. It's called A More Excellent Way to Be in Health by Henry Wright. And I've only read a little bit at this point, but it makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not saying this book is right or wrong or anything, but it does make a lot of sense, and there is a lot of scripture in here. I've read some reviews on it, and people kind of tear the guy apart and say that he's pulling scripture text, out of text, context, out of context, and saying a lot of negative things about him. But I've read a lot of good reviews too. Thing is, he's a man. He's imperfect, just like I am and you are. And I'm just giving you my opinion of this so far. Um, but I've been praying a lot about it because, for years and years, I've been trying to get well, trying to address all my physical problems with physical means, changing diets and using supplements and going to acupuncturist and nutritionist and alternative medicine people, and I've done kinesiology and chiropractic, and I've actually tried some pretty funky, weird things that I regret. Not to mention mainstream medicine with all their testing and all that kind of stuff. Um, but I'm convinced for myself and really for other people too that a lot of our issues, mental and physical, do stem from spiritual roots, childhood issues, trauma, sin in our lives. Um, to name a few in here that he mentions that are the biggest ones are unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, self hatred, um, fear, and anxiety. Though that's a big one. And he talks about how a lot of these are actually evil spirits that torment us. But then, we listen to them, we agree with them, and we end up um, acting out the accusing other people and having that unforgiveness or having that fear and anxiety because we hear the lies that Satan's telling us and we come in agreement with it. Um, so he says I don't know where he gets this number from, but he says that 80% of all disease or sickness has a spiritual root. And he goes all over the world and he's ministered to a lot of people, and I guess a lot of people have gotten healed, and there's plenty of testimonies. If you want to look them up on YouTube, you just look up Be in Health testimonies. But some of the things in this book, um, just some of the illnesses, he actually goes over specific illnesses and what they're rooted in, and there's a bunch of them that are things that are major issues for me. Like the gastrointestinal stuff, skin issues, endocrine system, central nervous, cancer, arthritis, all kinds of things, Parkinson's, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, skin problems, I already said that, fibromyalgia, osteoporosis, sciatica, you name it, it's in here. And I actually was just looking at another one just a few minutes ago, hypoglycemia, which I also have. But for me, most of the ones that I have, the issues I have, the stomach issues, the hypoglycemia, osteoporosis, things like that, stem from fear and anxiety, a root of that, which I've had my entire life since I was a little girl. And then some of them come from self-hatred. He even talks about autoimmune disorders stemming from an actual, like an allergy of yourself, but it's basically that it's self-hatred, that you just don't love yourself and you judge yourself and things like that. So I would say it's worth looking into this book if you want to start dealing with your, to see if any of your health issues are actually coming from sin in your life that you didn't realize was there, or deep spiritual roots and things. I have to say that this book has so much scripture in it, stuff. It really has gotten me to really search my heart and go to God and ask Him, which I've been doing for a long time. I always ask the Lord, please show me anything in my life that is a sin issue that I haven't dealt with. If there's any unforgiveness or bitterness or anybody that I hold a grudge against, or any sin that I just haven't dealt with that I'm not aware of, please show me. And I pray that all the time, but recently I've really been looking at some things and not realizing how much bitterness and resentment and different things that I've allowed over the years, even gossip and slandering people in what you say when they're not around, just talking bad about someone, and not loving myself, not loving me, and being so judgmental and so critical of myself. Not to mention other people. I've developed like a critical, judgmental spirit over the years, and supposedly that is a spirit. If that spirit starts to put thoughts in your mind to be judgmental and critical, and then you take that on as part of you, we agree with that spirit, and we actually start to act out, and then we have a judgmental, critical spirit happening. So, I've seen just in the past couple of weeks, God is showing me so many areas that I've really allowed myself to believe the lies of the enemy, to get sucked into fear and anxiety and unforgiveness and bitterness and self-hatred and being judgmental and critical, and just so many things that are toxic. And there's so many scriptures that talk about, don't let a bitter root develop in you, because it will defile you and it will defile the people around you. And there's that verse that says, a merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. And we need to look at these things. We need to dig deeper than just the surface of, oh, I have this physical issue. How can I fix it in a physical manner? There's more to it than that. It goes so much deeper than that. And it kind of makes sense that so many people are sick, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God. There's so much disease. So it's definitely worth checking this book out. I just wanted to read just a part of the foreword in this book. It says, this book outlines a simple approach to the prevention and elimination of chronic disease. Its approach is not about living a better life with a chronic disease, but living free of disease. Originally, the word disease meant lack of ease or lack of peace. When a person is not at peace, this is not a medical issue, but a spiritual issue that has many facets, each of which God has a specific individualized solution for. This book does not have all the answers, yet this book can direct the thoughtful reader onto a path, a highway of discovery that is life-changing and where the root causes of disease can be addressed and eliminated. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." This book is not against medicine, but goes beyond what medical care offers, because it addresses the connection between the human spirit and the human chemistry that a doctor understands. Reader, you have been fearfully and wonderfully made. Many of you have also been unmade by spiritual forces that have stolen your peace. It's not too late. Don't leave your doctor, but take God's hand and allow him to lead you as you read this book. Then there may come a time when your doctor says to you, "We can stop this medicine. It is not needed anymore." So, something to think about. Here's the book if you want to check it out. I got it on eBay for about $15. They have, I think this was a used one. Yeah, and it's fine. So, pray about it. Give it some thought. I hope that this maybe gets you thinking more about where those physical issues stem from, and start looking more into those things. Pray and ask God to show you, just like I'm doing. And if you want to leave me a message, that would be great. I'd love to hear what you think of this video, and if you do end up getting anything from it, I'd love to hear it. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.